Hey guys, how's it going? Jacob from Adventure Addicts here. Quick announcement, we finally released our clothing brand. It's called Adventure Brand. All things you need for adventure. We even do shirts, women's shirts, all tri-blend. Really good feeling. We also do coffee mugs, hats, and even phone cases. So go check that out. The link is going to be right there in the bio for you. So Couchsurfing is easily the best way to save money on your travels. Like hands down, not paying for a motel, hotel, Airbnb, whatever. Free. It's absolutely free. I've been wanting to make this video for a long time to kind of help out people new to it, people who don't understand what it is. And we actually waited until the trip. We just got back from Colorado and we had 3 nights. We stayed with 3 different Couchsurfers and we interviewed all 3 of them and asked them different questions. Why do they couchsurf? What makes them say yes to requests? And what makes them say no to requests? The interviews were awesome. The guys, all of them, they were just so transparent, really good advice, things I didn't even think of or were aware of, how they thought. So I learned as much as y'all are about to learn now. All right, so we're gonna show the 3 questions, alternating in between all 3 of the Couchsurfer hosts, and let's just see what they have to say. All right, so this is 1 out of the 3 Couchsurfers that we're staying with in this trip. We got Lily, Kyle, and Ia. And we're in Buena Vista, or how do you like to call it?
Buena Vista.
Buena Vista. We have Aaron here. We're with our 3rd Couchsurfer, Eliz, and we're in Silverthorne, Colorado. So why did y'all get into Couchsurfing?
Because I just think it's a cool idea. It's just a really unique way to share an experience with other people. Both sides are being a little bit vulnerable. You're trusting the other person in one way or another, and I think that kind of connects people. And you really get to share a unique experience at a deep level. What do you like about it?
At first, I was really fearful of it. Kyle reassured me if it wasn't comfortable, we could leave. And I remember one of the first experiences we had, I was so scared and it looked really creepy. And I was like, they're gonna shoot us. They're gonna shoot us, like putting out, right? And then we walk in and I'm like freaked out, and there was a little baby carrier. And someone had a 3-month-old baby and opened their home up to us and their stuff. Yeah, and now they're some of our best friends here in Colorado.
Oh, wow.
So it's been a really nice outlet for us to meet people and meet friends.
Nice.
I've traveled quite a bit, so I've been to a lot of countries, and after a while, cathedrals start looking the same, museums start being a little bit the same, and locations look a little bit similar. And while I loved it and the world's very diverse, Couchsurfing opened up a whole new element of discovery for travel, and that being able to meet locals, which without Couchsurfing is a lot more difficult. It's still possible, way easier with Couchsurfing to do that. Once I was able to do that, in fact, my first place I ever Couchsurfed was in Russia. That reinvigorated me to continue exploring and to go into more places, more countries, because it finally gave me an element that jump-started my interest again in travel. So for me, that was the changing moment in terms of sort of like a next chapter in terms of travel, to be able to connect with locals like that, which has since been a huge element of why I continue to travel. Hostels are exciting and they're cool, but they just, at that point in my age, I was like, okay, I've sort of had enough of this, or this is okay. I wish I could connect more with the locals, and you can't that easily. You can of course strike up a conversation with someone, but not as easily as Couchsurfing allows for it. So once that happened, like I said, it changed my outlook on travels.
A friend of mine told me about it while I was traveling the country, living in my car. I used it occasionally. My plans would change so frequently that I, wouldn't give enough notice. But the few experiences we did have were absolutely wonderful. Done mostly surfing, but I've started hosting now that I live somewhere for longer than like 3 months.
Cool. What is something really good you like to see and request that makes you really confident in picking them?
What are big positive notes?
Well, I think it's just how you present your story. Some people just write like 1 or 2 lines. If you just get a little bit more in depth and talk a little bit about what you're trying to do and the places you want to explore, it helps me kind of connect with the people a little bit more and be like, all right, yeah, the house is yours.
Okay, so where I'm at, smaller town here in Colorado, the opportunity to be able to connect and at least visit with someone and talk with them is obviously a big plus for me. And at the same time too, of course, I've been in every situation where you're looking just for a free place to stay, and that's obviously very beneficial. But to be able to connect with someone and find out more about where they live, and that can be done from technically someone who lives in the next nearby town, which is only half an hour away, but the more farther away they're from, it's a bit more interesting.
Okay, cool.
So I can get more requests from, let's say, someone like even Colorado, like the main cities who want to come up here to the mountains. But of course, someone who's out of state or international is going to get my attention much quicker.
That's a cool.
And you would choose them over
So
someone
if
from
you had
Denver.
Definitely choose them.
That's so cool.
And the reason is to even have a conversation with someone who's from Denver, we share a lot of similarities. And there's a lot of stuff that they already know about with Colorado and stuff. Whereas someone who's from even a nearby state, like even like Kansas, they're not familiar with like life
Talk
over here in
all night.
Colorado. And you can talk more. And the farther you go away,
That's
the
so
more
cool.
that the differences
That's a
about it.
badass
So
answer.
I enjoy that. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Not having a complete profile kind of makes me feel like you're half-assing the situation, and if you really want to be part of the community, then just fill it out like you would in it's like a small job interview, It's like you want to really put yourself out there and make me want to trust you in my home, and also have more than one picture. That's super. Yeah, I mean, reviews are important, but I also know what it's like to have 0 reviews and being rejected just because of that. So I am a bit more lenient on that than other surfers or than other hosts. Give me a customized message that just, even one sentence explaining something that I wrote in my profile, so
Yeah.
I know that you actually read it.
Okay, what's like the definite no? Like if somebody reaches out, like what's like the kill? Like what are some killers that you just can't get by?
I would say a lot of the problem with like new people is they don't fill out their profile enough. There's only like 1 or 2 things,
Okay.
and there's just not enough for me to like kind of understand the person. It's amazing how much I feel like you can learn about a person and get comfortable with them if there's 10 lines about them.
Right.
Like, where have you visited? What languages do you speak?
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have pets?
Just open up
So
about
stuff
yourself.
that
and
most
be
people
honest.
wouldn't think about
Yeah.
include
Yeah.
that stuff.
Write down a few of your interests, because there's certain people, anything interesting except like one thing. They say, I'm interested in this person. And I'm like, okay, yeah, you're in.
You're in.
Yeah,
Done.
so just be completely open about who you are, and it'll really help you connect with the host, I think.
You can tell in a request that someone has not even looked over their profile.
Okay.
And you can tell it's very generic, and I've heard of stuff that's so bad that they get their name wrong.
Oh,
Yeah,
They get their
God.
name wrong or incredibly bad
They're
typos.
copy pasting from
So
the
it's
original.
bulk reach outs, I guess.
It's
Bulk
like,
reach
hey
outs.
Aaron, and then they hit up Julie next, and it's like, hey Aaron, and like they didn't realize like they
Hey,
copy pasted the
Julie.
whole thing.
No, they will mess up names sometimes. They'll even do big typos sometimes. One girl in, I forget where, maybe Czech Republic, showed me one that she got. Some guy saying something that he was coming to town, very generic, and that he enjoys different stuff, but then looking forward to going to the museum and sex. And really didn't realize he put it there. He didn't mean to put it because it was
Oh
something
my
weird
God.
different, but it was a typo.
Oh my
It was a full-on
God.
typo, and he hadn't looked over it. And she's like, she thought it was more funny.
Right.
But she's like, so like that. It's just typos. Sometimes they're so.
I don't care about. I don't care if it's a typo. Like there's no chances of being taken next man.
Yeah. So there's some crazy stuff out there. But
Nice, cool. Appreciate it.
I did have one person ask for a host when I lived in Denver. In their public trip, it said the same exact thing. They didn't even use my name. They said, I need a place to crash because I'm going to this concert.
One sentence.
Basically, maybe 2, but didn't even ask, like just said they need this, and I'm like,
Give this to me.
no. So yeah, I mean, I emphasize in my profile as well that I want to spend time with you, that I want to get to know you and give you advice on what to do in my town or city. I'm not a hostel, like just because I'm free doesn't mean you can take advantage of that.
huge.
Get to know the people. Yeah. And I'm not someplace that you can just crash and then get up and go. Like, this is my home and I'm opening it to you. So I kind of expect that person to, try and get to know their host.
Cool. That's awesome.
All right, as you can see, Couchsurfer isn't just, oh, I need a place to stay, please let me crash, I'll get out of your way. These people want you there. They want to help you out. They've been helped. If you notice, all 3 of them, started being a surfer, and that made them become a host. And that's kind of a big thing where, it all started with someone letting someone in, and then they were so appreciative that they wanted to give back. And it's just grown and grown like that in such an amazing community. It's more than just crashing at some stranger's house. It's about making new friends. I've made friends all around the country now, just because of Couchsurfer, and they're like, oh yeah, come back. You have a place to stay in Colorado, you have a place to stay in Tennessee, things like that. It's just so amazing. And if you ever have a friend or someone in the family is like, hey, I'm going up to Seattle, it's like, do you know what to do up there? It's like, I did a few things, but I stayed with a Couchsurfer up there. They can give you a list of things to do. It's just a really cool thing to say to people you know and to help out. And like I said, just the community is so great. I love how Aaron was like, oh, you know, someone in Colorado wants to stay with me, but someone, you know, from like across the country wants to stay, you know, I'd pick them over that because they're gonna have something more to talk about. Like, you know, here, you know, the guy from Denver going 2 hours down to Buena Vista isn't gonna be as interesting as the guy from Maine or even someone from outside the country. So I thought that was a really cool insight, and that's something to consider. And just remember, these are strangers letting you in their home. So making that profile of yours completely transparent, super honest, very detailed is going to really help you out, especially for your newbies who have 0 reviews. As you saw, you heard Liz say that she really likes to stick up for those guys, and the only way she's going to, you know, trust her intuition is when she reads your profile and it's like, wow, like I know this whole guy's life just from reading it. And of course the request has to be very, you know, into depth. And that's the biggest thing that I want to share is that you want to always take something from their bio and put it into the request. So for example, something not to do is you see all these great things they're saying about their life and you're just like, oh, an interest they have, you know, I like rap. It's like, oh, I also like rap. Let me stay, you know, you have to go in depth. It's really easy. Just try, just think about it. Remember that these people are letting you in their home for free, not asking for anything. What they really want is just to make a new friend and hear your story. So try not to, you know, abuse the community because you're just not going to fit in and it's not going to work. Don't forget to check Venture Brand in the link below. Also, subscribe, hit the bell. Anytime we come up with a new video, it's going to let you know. Like Venture Addicts on Instagram and Facebook, and just follow the journey. Comment, DM us on Instagram, here on YouTube, anything you want to do. Just let us know, okay? We'll see you next video.